Good morning, children. Today, we are going to learn or read about a lady who could fulfill her dreams, reach for the top. Yes, Santosh Yadav. So each and every one of us will have some desires, something that we want to achieve. But in that process, we will come across many hurdles and many problems. Right? It can be from the family members, it can be from the society, it can be from anywhere and everywhere. Okay, but the strong desire to overcome all those hurdles, the willpower, and the hard work, that is going to help you to reach the top wherever you want to go, in whichever field you want to achieve that kind of success. Yes, you could do that only when you are mentally ready to face all those challenges and work hard to overcome them. So within you, you should get that kind of strength. So let us know about this Santosh Yadav, how she could overcome all the problems, what she wanted to achieve, and how she overcame all those problems. Yes, in this Reach for Top, you will be reading about two women. One is Santosh Yadav, and the other one, let us see who is that afterwards in the next class. Okay, now think for a while and make a list of 3 or 5 persons you idealize or admire very much for their achievements. Your idols may be from any sphere of life: sports, medicine, media, or art and culture. In any field, if you feel that person is really great and you and that person is your idol, just make a note of this. That person can be in any field. Okay, now we will discuss about that. We can have that as 1 minute talk afterwards. Okay, now let us know about this Santosh Yadav, what was her aim and how she could fulfill that. The only woman in the world who had scaled Mount Everest twice was born in a society where the birth of a son was regarded as a blessing and a daughter, though not considered a curse, was not generally welcome. When her mother was expecting Santosh, a traveling holy man giving her his blessings, assumed that she wanted a son. But to everyone's surprise, the unborn child's grandmother, who was standing close by, told him that they did not want a son. The holy man was also surprised. Nevertheless, he gave the requested blessing, and as a destiny would have it, the blessing seemed to work. Santosh was born the sixth child in the family with 5 sons, a sister, to 5 brothers. She was born in a small village of Cherniavas of Rewari district in Haryana. Okay, so now what was Santosh Yadav's dream? Yes, it was to climb Mount Everest. So it was mountaineering was her favorite thing. So how many times she climbed Mount Everest? Twice she could climb that. And now when she was born, and in those times, Santosh, when a girl was born, they used to consider that not as a curse, but generally not, they did not welcome that daughter was born in a family. So in those days, when Santosh mother was expecting, a holy man came there, and the holy man wanted to bless the mother to have a son. But to everybody's surprise, it's not even the mother, it was the grandmother of Santosh Yadav told that they don't want son and they want the daughter. And even the holy man was also surprised and he blessed. And so Santosh Yadav was born, the sixth child in the family, and 5 sons and this girl, sister of 5 brothers, and in a very small village. So we have to remember that it was a village because you know that in village, the people were very much uh, wanted to follow these traditions and all that, and they don't want anybody to move away from those kind of traditions, whatever that village people were following. And here, Santosh Yadav was a girl, and she was born in a village, and her dream was to climb the mountains. So you could imagine what kind of hurdles she must have faced, right? Yes. The girl was given the name Santosh, which means contentment, satisfaction. Yes, whatever you have, if you are satisfied with whatever was that, that is contentment. So Santosh means that, satisfied with whatever she wanted. That's the meaning of that name. But was she like that? No, definitely she. But Santosh was not always content with her place in a traditional way of life. Traditional way of life in the village. She was not at all content. She was not happy. She wanted to do something more than that. She began living life on her own terms from the start. Where other girls wore traditional Indian dresses, Santosh preferred shorts. Looking back, she says now, from the very beginning, I was quite determined that if I chose a correct and a rational path, the others around me had to change, not me. So you can see her strong character from this. So in a village, when everybody was wearing, all the girls were wearing traditional dress, she used to wear shorts. So naturally, in an entire village, the people would have been looking at her, and definitely must have pointed out the way she was dressing. But looking back, when she was recollecting all those days, she told, what did she tell? From the very beginning, I was quite determined that if I chose a correct and a rational path means whatever is reasonably good, not very odd, but reasonably good. And then she will never change, but the people around her must change for her decisions. Santosh's parents were affluent landowners who could afford to send their children to the best schools, even to the country's capital, New Delhi, which was quite close by. But in line with the prevailing custom in the family, Santosh had to make do with the local village school. So she decided to fight the system in her own quiet way when the right moment arrived. And the right moment came when she turned 16. At 16, most of the girls in her village used to get married. Santosh was also under pressure from her parents to do the same. So Santosh's parents, her family background, they were landowners. What kind of landowners? Affluent landowners means very rich, reasonably good, prosperous family. They had enough money. Who could afford to send the children to the best schools, not only within Haryana, but also even to the country's capital, New Delhi, which was very close to Haryana, their place. But in those days, uh, girls were not allowed to go out and study like that, especially in that villages. So she decided to fight the system in her own quiet way when the right moment arrived. So look at that. When the right moment arrived, she did not start fighting immediately or telling her opinion. After completing whatever education was there in the school, when she felt that it's time to express her opinion, only then she expressed her opinion. Till that, she was keeping quiet. So it's all depends on what to tell, when to tell, and also how to tell. Okay, so she followed that. So her own quiet way when the right moment arrived. And the right moment came when she turned 16. And at 16, most of the girls in her village, they would get married. But here Santosh told the parents that she did not want to marry. Even she also, the parents were asking her to get married when she was at the age of 16. The marriage A marriage as early as that was the last thing on her mind. She threatened her parents that she would never marry if she did not get a proper education. She left home and got herself enrolled in a school in Delhi. When her parents refused to pay for her education, she politely informed them of her plans to earn money by working part-time to pay her school fees. Her parents then agreed to pay for her education. So look at her strong determination. So when the parents told her that she must get married, she was not at all ready for the marriage. Her desire was to read, get educated. She threatened the parents. Threatened means don't go in that wild sense. She told the parents that if she was not going to get proper education, she was not going to marry. She expressed her opinion to the parents, not like threatening or frightening and all that. Maybe in her voice, she was a little bit stubborn, telling that her strong desire to get educated. So not only just informing, she even planned to go away. She left home and got herself enrolled in the school in Delhi. And the parents refused, telling that we are not going to pay your school fees. Then she did. She said very politely, okay, don't pay. I have planned to work as part-time person. I'll do my job as in part-time, and then I will pay my school fees and I'll continue my education. Then seeing that strong determination, parents were left with no other option but to pay for that her education. See, that's how she could overcome the first hurdle in her life, getting proper education. That was the first thing. So parents were not willing, but she told them very properly and at proper time and conveyed her strong desire in a very polite, pleasing, requesting, expressing her strong desire, not again telling that, okay, whatever he is like. The words, what she told must have been telling her strong determination that she wanted to work, get educated and she told that I'm not going to get married unless and until I'm getting proper education. So that made the parents yield to her desire. Yes, wishing always to study a bit more means more than what actually is she wanted, a bit more. And with her father slowly getting used to her urge for more education, Santosh passed the high school examinations and went to Jaipur. She joined Maharani College and got a room in Kasturba Hostel. Santosh remembers Kasturba Hostel faced Aravali Hills. I used to watch villages from my room going up the hill and suddenly vanishing after a while. One day, I decided to check it out myself. I found nobody except a few mountaineers. I asked if I could join them. To my pleasure, surprise, they answered in the affirmative and motivated me to take to climbing. So after completing that education there in Delhi, she planned to go to Jaipur, and looking at that strong desire, father also, he had to accept it. So she went and she joined in Maharani College, and she joined in a hostel, Kasturba Hostel, and from the room she could see the Aravali Hills. So what she said, she remembers all this, and she was telling she from her hostel room, she used to see Aravali mountains. So when she was looking at the Aravali mountains, she could see people climbing that, and all of a sudden they would vanish, which means she could not see them after climbing to some extent. Then she decided where were they going, what was happening. So she wanted to find that for herself. So she went one day and she saw few people. They were all mountaineers who were climbing the mountains. And she asked them, could I join? Could she join them? Then to her pleasant surprise, they said yes. And then encouraged her. And then she started going. Then what happened? Then there was no looking back for this determined young girl. So she never looked back, which means then there was no looking back for this determined young lady. She determined that she wanted to climb, and she just continued, and she never turned back, which means her desire to do that is she started that, and she just wanted to continue that. She did not give up, though she, with all the other problems, whatever she was going to face, she never turned back. She never felt like, enough, I'm not going to do that, let me listen to my parents. Never. So she continued. She saved money and then enrolled in a course at Uttarkashi's Nehru Institute of Mountaineering. My college semester in Jaipur was to end in April, but it ended on the 19th of May. It got extended, and I was supposed to be in Uttarakhand on 21st. So I did not go back home. So in April, her college was supposed to be completed, but it extended up to May 19th. And 21st, she was supposed to go to Uttarkashi. So she did not go back home because 2 days were there. She planned to go to Uttarkashi. Why? So I did not go back home. Instead, I headed straight for the training, Uttarkashi, and then without informing the parents. So what did she do? I had to write a letter of apology to my father, without whose permission I had got myself enrolled in Uttarkashi. So before getting enrolled in Uttarkashi, she was supposed to take permission from her father, but she did not do that. So now she was planning to go to Uttarkashi. So she wrote a letter to her father telling her plans, and even she asked him to apology, means sorry that she could not take permission, but she joined in Uttarkashi and she was going to get the training there. Okay. Now, after Santoshi went on an expedition, thereafter, Santoshi went on an expedition every year. Her climbing skills matured rapidly. So she continued getting that kind of training, and then expedition her skills to climb the mountains increased a lot. Also, she developed a remarkable resistance to cold and the altitude. The weather would definitely be cold on the mountains. So she got that resistance power for the cold weather and also to that high altitude. Equipped with an iron will, that is the first point, iron will, strong determination, physical endurance. Physical endurance means the strength, what she had, she built up, because the physical strength is also needed to climb the mountains. So she could get even that also. Iron will, physical strength, physical endurance, and an amazing mental toughness. She proved herself repeatedly. So mentally she should be strong. I am not, this is really very difficult work. I could not do that. Keep a full stop here. She never thought like that. So her mental toughness, all this proved, because she went repeatedly. She started climbing the mountains repeatedly. She proved her capability at each and every level. The accumulation of her hard work and sincerity came in 1992, when, just 4 years after she had shyly asked the Aravalli mountaineers if she could join them. So after 4 years, when she saw the people climbing Aravalli mountains, when they gave permission, after that, within 4 years, in 1992, after 4 years, in 1992, all her hard work, accumulation means peak, climax of that hard work came to act. That means she got the opportunity to climb Mount Everest. So climax of her hard work and sincerity came in 1992. Just 4 years afterwards, that shyly asking the mountaineers, can I come with you? Can I climb this mountain with you? So after that, 4 years. And at barely 20 years of age, Santosh Yadav scaled Mount Everest, becoming the youngest woman in the world to achieve the feat. So she was the first woman, very young girl, young woman, to climb the Mount Everest first time. Okay. If her climbing skills, physical fitness, and mental strength impressed her seniors, her concern for others and desire to work together with them found her a special place in the hearts of fellow climbers. So all the other fellow climbers used to like her so much because of her qualities. What are those qualities which gave her a special place among the fellow climbers? First one is her climbing skills, the way she started climbing the mountain, and her physical fitness. Physically, she was very strong. And then mental strength. Yes, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to do that. Her mental strength impressed her seniors. And one more thing, her concern for others and desire to work together, those play actually more important role. Her concern for others, she was not always being herself selfish. She was always shows a lot of concern towards others. If anybody is facing any problem, she used to go there and find out the problem and try to help them to solve the problem. Her concern for others and the desire to work along with others, this gave a special place in the other fellow members of the climbers. Yes. Now, during 1992, Mount Everest mission, during the 1992 Everest mission, Santosh Yadav provided special care to a climber who lay dying at the South Col. So, we came to know that Santosh wanted to solve the problems of others, and she would always very much willing to help those people. She was always helping them. So what happened in the year during that 1992 Everest mission, there was one man who was lay dying at the South Col. South Col means a place, a point at the mountain range, a very low level at that mountain range. So she went there to help them. She was unfortunately unsuccessful in saving him. So she tried her best to save that man, but she could not save that man. Then, however, she managed to save another climber, Mohan Singh, who would have met with the same fate had she not shared her oxygen with him. So next time, Mohan Singh was the one more person who faced the same problem. This time, Santosh Yadav went there and helped him by sharing her oxygen, and so he could not meet that tragic end. She very happily helped him, and she brought him out of that danger. Within 12 months, Santosh found herself a member of an Indo-Nepalese women's expedition that invited her to join them. So, Indo-Nepalese women's expedition invited Santoshi. Within 12 months after climbing Mount Everest, it means within 12 months, she got that opportunity. She then scaled the Everest the second time, thus setting a record as the only woman to have scaled the Everest twice and securing for herself and India a unique place in the annals of mountaineering. So it was she who climbed Mount Everest second time, and that was a record not only for herself, even to India. She brought a unique place to India among those annals of mountaineering, means history of mountaineering. In recognition of her achievement, the Indian government bestowed with her one of the nation's top honors, the Padma Shri. So, in recognizing her hard work, her achievement, her willpower, her strength, so Indian government bestowed upon her a nation's top honor. What was that? Padma Shri award she got. Describing her feelings, when she was literally on top of the world, Santosh had said, "It took some time for the enormity of the moment to sink in. Then I unfurled the Indian tricolor and held it aloft on the roof of the world. The feeling is indescribable. The Indian flag was flying on top of the world. It was truly a spiritual moment. I felt proud as an Indian. Now she was telling when she was there on the top of the mountain, how did she feel? One thing, it took some moment for the enormity of the moment to sink in. Means, is it true? Am I standing on the top of the that mountain? Everest mountain? Is it true? Yes, I'm there. So it took some time for her to get that idea, get accepted into her, sink that idea into her mind. Yes, I did it. Then she unfurled the Indian tricolor, the flag, and held it aloof on the roof of the world. So Himalayan is this Mount Everest is the highest peak. There she kept that Indian flag, telling that it was there on the roof of the world, top place. Roof is the top place, right? The feeling is indescribable. There are no words to describe the feeling what she had. The Indian flag was flying on top of the world. It was truly a spiritual moment. I felt proud as an Indian, definitely, right? Also, a fervent environmentalist, Santosh, collected all and brought down 500 kilograms of garbage from the Himalayas. That was the ultimate thing what she did. So she was a very strong and sincere environmentalist. Means could not see the environment getting spoiled, wanted to protect the environment. What did she do? While coming down, she collected 500 kilograms of garbage from the Himalayas. So she did not want to leave that garbage there on that Himalayas because that would definitely spoil the environment of that Himalayas. So she did not want that to happen. So she brought down everything. That wasn't that really great? Yes, truly, that was really a difficult work. It showed that she really loved the environment. Yes, children, with that first part of this top of the lesson, the first part is completed. Now, answer the following questions. Here, they gave even the paragraph numbers. I want you to go back and read that and write these 5 answers. And then second part again, 5 answers are there. And I want you to complete that. And then go back and read the lesson and complete the following sentences, what you understood from the lesson. And then pick out words from the text that mean the same as the following words or expressions. Look at the paragraphs. So paragraph numbers are mentioned below. Go back, read that paragraph and identify the word or the words that mean the same which are there in the lesson and write it here. Okay? Complete that homework. Thank you, children. Have a nice day. Enjoy the lesson.